Hi, in this video we're going to do further exploration of the difference of two squares, but where we have a common factor in these two terms that we need to factorise out first. So in general, whenever you're factorising, you should always check for a common factor first. So let's just copy this. We've got 3ax squared minus 12ay squared. Let's check for common factors. What about the numbers first? The 3 and the 12, do they have any common factor? Well, they have a common factor 3, so we can take out 3. What else do they have in common? Well, I can see they both have an a in common, so we can also factorise out a. So overall, we can factorise out 3a. And then what we do is we put a big open bracket, single bracket, with some space inside it. And then we think, well, 3a multiplied by what would give you 3ax squared? Well, it's x squared. 3a times x squared would give you 3ax squared. And then 3a times what is this negative 12ay squared? Well, we know that 3 times negative 4 would give you the minus 12. So let's put the negative 4 there. A times what gives you the a? Well, we don't need any more a, so we don't need an a there. But we can see what this y squared, so we need y squared there. So 3a multiplied by negative 4y squared would give you the negative 12ay squared. Now, this expression here is an example of the difference of two squares. Look, it's a difference, it's a subtraction of two squared things. X squared is something squared, 4 is a square number, y squared is something squared. So it's therefore the difference of two squares. And we saw in previous videos that when we have a difference of two squares like this, we can factorise it into two brackets, one with a plus in the middle, one with a minus in the middle. And then what we do is we square root each of those two things. We square root the a squared, well, the square root of a squared is just a, so we make that the first thing of each bracket. And we square root the b squared, which is b, we make that the second thing of each bracket. So let's do that here on the next line. We're going to copy the 3a, and then we're going to have two brackets. We put plus in the middle of one of them, minus in the middle of the other, and then we do the square root of each of these terms inside the bracket. What's the square root of x squared? Well, it's just x. The square root cancels out the squared, so we get x. And what's the square root of this second term, the 4y squared? Well, the square root of 4 is 2, and the square root of y squared is y, so it's just 2y. So we get that. And that is the final answer, the final fully factorised form.